Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. First video of 2026. Happy New Year, and I'm here to share with you the end of the season of Falange Arancione. I'm quite late, but there were the Christmas holidays. I was also sick, unluckily, so I waited to be a little bit to feel better. And but I wanted to make this video because, as you can see from the title, from the failure, we can learn a lot of things that can help us to improve. And for sure, with this first season for me in Serie A, I learn a lot more than in all the other season, all the other years in which I played with my club in Hattrick. So let's see what happened, and let's. I hope that I can share with you already something that can help you to avoid the mistake that I did. And now let's enjoy the video. As always, follow the channel, comment, everything can help to grow the channel and to help me to bring and continue to bring the passion about this game also in 2026. Thank you guys, and let's see what happened. Okay guys, let's start from the ranking. So the final ranking was not beautiful for my team. Falange Arancione, last position, 10 points. No game. Far away from the play out. It was an interesting season, the 92, because until the last match there were some fights between the top teams. The top teams were losing against the lowest teams. Therefore, there was a good challenge between who was winning the title and who was fighting to be safe already, or at least go in the play out. Obviously, my team was completely out of these challenges, so all the other teams were having fun despite mine. My team was weaker than the others. I have to say, for my point of view, no. My top 11 were easily competitive against everyone. There were some top teams, but you need to also against a top team. There is always the luck, some situation that anyway can give chance to win. And I could be in the situation of Spilo United, for example. The quality of the team of Spilo United in terms of values were not far from my Falange Arancione team. But in Hattrick there are not only the top 11 ratings. You need to manage a lot of factors because, and this is why I'm doing this video, why I will make the title failure, because I want to mention some mistakes on my journey that even bring me to me in Serie A, but I'm arrived in Serie A not ready for some situation, and I explain myself. In Hattrick, we need to face unpredictable external factor, injuries, bad trend form, opponent that play maybe more aggressive against you than others, and so situation of calendar, etc. Management of the competition like the cup that can help you to recharge the team spirit, and also the management of the championship is different if you are playing in the cup or not. Okay, all this situation, the management of the team spirit, all these factors made your season. And if you arrive in Serie A like my team arrived, or you are above the line of the luck, it means that you are really luck and your player are always with a good shape of form. Your top 11 player are with a good shape of form. They have no injuries, and so you can fight. But if you have the situation like me that I showed to you, you can easily check. This is something for the supporter, but if you go to statistic, teams, world, and you see wealthiest, if it's the correct spelling. You can check by country and division, and for the division 1 there are just 8 teams, so you can see clearly how much money each team is in this moment is in their bank account, let me say. This is the situation of this year, but if you were looking at this picture last season, Falange Arancione was like Sbidu without any cash. The problem that Sbidu, I think, is with a top. I don't know the situation. Maybe now is in a moment in which he invested and is with a top team. I don't care. In this moment, I speak about my Falange Arancione. But my Falange Arancione was with the less cash of all the Serie A and was just with 13 players. Mainly the players that could play a 3-5-2 or a counter attack. But I had problem of injuries each week. I had problem of bad trend form, and in a top division that every week you are facing a battle, you cannot play with 5 forms. You cannot play without a competitive player because you are not able to replace him. And this is the real situation of my team last season. So let's see, for example, I don't know if here I had injuries. Let's check the first match. No injuries. Okay, so the first match is already interesting to see, guys, because I had an injury during the end of the season, so I was with one inner midfielder less. So I had to start with at home the first match with a 4-4-2. And I play it cool. But here you see how I started. I don't know, was the first match. I had already some problem. For example, I had Trangoni, that is my top player with 5 form. Okay, so I had some troubles. I had another injuries in the midfield, so I played 4-4-2. That anyways was a lineup that I used, that helped me to arrive in Serie A, that I like a lot. But when you play 4-4-2 the first match, when you build a team in that it's perfectly fitted to play 3-5-2 at least the first match of the season, or maybe 2-5-3 because you are at home, if you are not able to play this lineup and you play 4-4-2, it means already something. But on top of that, I started the first match at, I don't know, 60 kilometers per hour velocity. My opponent at 120, the double velocity. Why? Because Numble played super mods. Look at the ratings the first match. He played 3-5-2 with man marking and he did 17.5. Guys, 17.5. Or it was like a shock at the beginning of the season. Pam pam pam, Numble, ciao ciao, 2-0, ciao ciao Falange Arancione. He gained replays like he was playing at home, and I lost my first match. And on top of that, without looking at the other match, but I played 2 matches away against teams that were playing in Serie A already, so they were perfectly fitted in the league, in the mentality, and they won against me at home. So my first 3 matches, 0 point and no possibility to increase the confidence, something that in the previous season was something that was helping me because I was always winning, more or less. So I was pushing, increasing the confidence, and this was helping a lot to improve the attack ratings. Here, in the first 3 matches, I lost. And on top of that, I had some problems that I will show to you. From the second match, and this is one of the main reasons of my performance, my goalkeeper went 5 form, and playing with a 5 form goalkeeper that is defending the 3 sides of your defense is something in Serie A, is something that you cannot manage for a lot of matches because you pay it. And due to the fact that I was without cash and was not able to sell him because nobody was buying him at a decent decent price considering the form. I was completely stuck, hoping that this form was coming back. The problem was that this form went back at the end of the second half of the season. Therefore, I played like 10 matches, or I don't know, the half of the matches with a goalkeeper that was 5 form, and also play counter attack with a low goalkeeper that also is not only not defending properly the sides attack defending ratings, but also against the special event or everything. If you have a goalkeeper that with a low skill in goalkeeping is not defending you in all the other events, and this is something that at this level is crucial. So I paid this. Also my other and also the injuries, because with Numble, let's coming back to Numble, I had an injuries of 13, 2 weeks, 2 weeks of 13. That was is one of my top player. In the cup, if I remember well here, in the cup, I lost my set pieces taker. No, this one was okay, but in this one, I lost for 5 weeks Papai. Oh, I don't know the spelling. That was my set pieces taker, was amazing, and I was not able to replace him because you know very well how much is costing a good win back, millions, and I was with zero cash. So, and I lost the midfielder. My goalkeeper was 5 form. I lost my top wingback set pieces taker with 20 set pieces. The midfield was a problem, and I was not able to play 3-5-2. Was a problem. I was losing, so the confidence was not increasing. At least in that moment, the cup was helping me to not go completely down in the confidence. But I won 2 matches against 2 direct opponents. So this, but after this match of the cup, okay, I won against Manchester Calcio in the Saturday, but here it was a big mistake. I was so worried about the injuries because every week I had an injury of 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. I was losing pieces of my team. I was without cash. I was without any player, a good player in the bench. I was playing always 4-4-2 because the 5-3-2 was not competitive because the goalkeeper was with 5 form. So playing counter attack with 5 defenders without a good defense was giving the match to the opponent. I was not able to play 3-5-2 because my midfielder were injured, my wings were without bad form. So I played a weak lineup in the cup, 2 week, and I lost. But in a round that was so easy because the ratings were nothing so impossible. But I play with really bad players because I was worried, and this was a problem because I went out too early from the cup, and I was the first team of the whole Serie A out of the cup, out without the possibility to recharge the team spirit in the cup in rounds that were so still easily to be managed with a plate cool. Therefore, my opponents were able to do pin against me and recharge in the cup. Meanwhile, for some weeks, I was not able to do so. And this was another problem. After that, what happens? I lost against Real Pignola, I lost against Spidu, and this was a bad trend. I lost direct matches because I played really well against Real Pignola, Manchester Cavallo, okay, but losing so many matches, I was my confidence was really bad, really bad. So at the end, also this match. Let's see one match that I won, but it's just I don't. It's not just a matter of I want to show to you the match that I won, but also here I'm sure that the ratings were bad. How much was okay? At least I gained the replays. I played 2-5-3, 3-5-2 without defense. pushing the midfield with two, so were already an extreme, but also the attack ratings were not so. So I was really in a bad situation, and the confidence went down. I was not able to win the matches that I had to win because against Manchester Cavallo I had to win because it was my opponent, my direct opponent here. 253 against a counter attack. Look at the ratings. I played attack at the middle, but anyway, it was not so. If you remember, in the match before, Spilo did 20 in the central attack. I did 16. Maybe, okay, because I was marked. Okay, but anyway, guys, I know, no power, no. I have to say, when I went back, when I did, I reduced the official matches, and I was out of the cup in the friendly play with bad players, or just with the one that need to be trained. In this moment, at least the injuries were reduced and the form was in a better shape. The problem was the confidence so low, so I was out, guys. I lost the trend here when I was out of the cup, and I lost against Real Pignola that won the Serie A, but here was a triple match, so at least I could do some points. I played another time 4-4-2. It was a triple match, but anyway, the replay more or less the average goals were the same, and I lost 2-2 a special event for the reason that this goalkeeper was still 5 and was like easy make goals in each way. So this was the situation. I don't want to go so deeply in the teams because I will go longer. The main reason so is the fact that I had to wait. My plan was wait the second half of the season because I was building a strong player that was Paolo Rorandi from the Youth Academy. So I sold him. I made 2.8 millions. In that moment, I sold the goalkeeper that was, if I remember well, sixth form because finally was when was increased. And with that millions, I paid a goalkeeper, a better goalkeeper. The problem that was too late because was in the I did everything in the 12 week, so I was already with a drop confidence, etc. Was too late. So the youth academies are important, can bring to you extra cash, but you need to invest always. You need to always to unify, or you are a trader, okay. But if you do project like mine, you can easily manage the economy of your team. But you need to invest the money. You need to during the cycle invest the money and be able to have the cash to manage this emergency, bad form, injuries, etc. I show you some mistake that I did in the past that made that due to these bad choices I arrived in Serie A without cash because as you know I manage national teams, etc. So I was not able to focus at 100% in my club, but I manage I think in a proper way the economy of my team in a moment pre anniversary closure in which the market was high. I sold really well. The problem that in that moment before the anniversary closure I invested the money really in a bad way. I show you why. Let's see if I can see from here. Let's see the boat. One of the mistake that I did, for example, this goalkeeper, I paid him 8 millions. I thought that was a good investment, but this guy, I I bought at 8 millions and I sold at 4 millions after a lot of seasons. So he helped me to arrive in the top series. But anyway, I lost quite a lot. Mm, and was not so strong. Another problem was okay. Now Wolf is strong, is okay. Carlo Trentin, I paid him 10 millions. 10 millions for a inner midfielder. No, no, guys. 10 millions. This 10 million, I could find a similar player, not so strong, but similar player to Trentin at 3 millions. And with 7 millions, I could do really different things. Let's see other things. Another big mistake that I did that decreased my cash was let's see from the sold. One of the mistake that this one of the big mistakes. I paid. This was an inner midfielder that. At the end, if I kept, it was better, but okay. I paid him 6 million when he was young, and because I wanted to put fitted in my plan, in my cross cycle, but at the end I decided to sell him to make space for Trentin. The thing is that I paid him 7 millions and I sold him at 2 million and a half. 2 million and a half. Really, I sold him at 28, 29 in the moment, in the peak of the salary, and I wanted to decrease the salary. I don't know why, guys. I put a zero thinking that I could do a lot of money in this way because it was a nice player, but there was the anniversary closure, I think. So a bad period of the market, and this guy after some weeks sold at the double. But guys, 2 millions less, it's huge. It's huge. Obviously, the market, I had to say, the market was dropped after the anniversary league. So at least I sold him badly, but I bought him at 2 million and 3, and was this guy is still with me, and this was a low price. So at the end, I sold him badly, but I bought him really well. But guys, I have to say, with the anniversary closure, I managed badly the last cash that I had. So I invested. I bought also player at a good level thanks to the drop of the market, but not only Jap at a Bry. But 10 million for the inner midfielder, I lost million for the goalkeeper. If you pay 8 million a goalkeeper, but and you after some season you sell him at 4 millions, but despite pay him 8 millions, you pay 10 millions, you buy a goalkeeper completed and you keep him until the end. Just an example. So these are situations that I would change. And these are I have no problem to say, guys, because anyway I'm really happy about my plan, because I built how I build the plan, how I build the team, how I leverage the team. I'm quite happy, and I know that I did a really nice job. This mistake can be easily done when you are not following properly the market, and I was not following properly because I was following the national teams, the Italian under 21, with I had at least full of 17 years old, so I really knew well the market of the 17 years old, but not the market of the 29, 30, 35 years old like I know now. And I did some mistakes, but it's normal. I'm sharing with you this to avoid that you will do the same mistakes. And that's it. So this more or less is something that I wanted to bring. Anyway, some positivity. I started the series 2 this season, and the start was good. I learned from my mistakes. I had also some luck, less injuries, a better trend form. I started against a bot that pushed me the confidence. I managed bet in a better way the cup. Playing. This is wanted to show to you. Another mistake that I did. No, it was good. Okay, fixture. This is another mistake that I did. That really. Season 92. Here, okay. I was losing anyway, but if I was playing 4-4-2, why I played cool? I had already the goalkeeper with 5 form, so the defense was not good. The 4-4-2 for the situation of my team was the best way, but the 4-4-2 is leveraging also in the midfield and the normal action. Why I played cool? That I had the cup. I showed to you guys this. It's easy to understand, but I don't know why I did this mistake. Let's think assumption. Always pick, okay? So when you do pick, you arrive at the moment that more or less your team spirit is at 8.8 each Saturday or Sunday, depending on when you play your championship, your league. But if you play pin, the week after, you are still 8.8 because you recharge with the cup. So if you play pick, you are just giving replace to the opponent in the championship. So at the beginning, when you are in a top division and you have a top team, you need to push because you have the cup that you recharge. So pin. If you play like this, you are giving replays. I gave free replays to Diablo. Maybe Diablo was winning anyway, but not doing 81% replay easily in this way. So these are anyway comments that are really important. Okay guys, so that's it. I think I share with you a lot of mistakes that I did that can help you to avoid them or at least reduce the impact. From my point of view, I will still have fun because my team is competitive. From the previous season, I learned a lot, and I see already a difference between the last season, considering this season. My team is still competitive. I see it, I feel it in all the competition, in the Serie B, in the second division, but also in the cup is still too early. The round are easy, but also in the supporter trophy or in the hero trophy or in the ladder. I'm competitive against all the teams. I feel that my team is competitive. My top 11 is competitive against a lot of teams. Is not the maximum because I see teams with better at stats. I have no in terms of values in some sector I'm missing something. I'm really very well balanced in terms of specialties, and this is something that I cover against teams that maybe are better in terms of values but less competitive in terms of specialties. So also against the top teams, maybe I'm not stronger than them, but still I'm competitive to gain quite good replays that, if the random follow me, can bring me results. Therefore, I'm really enjoying this phase of the club, and I really suggest you to go ahead with your plans, to not rebuild it, trying to go at the end. See at the end of the cycle, see at the end of the 30, 35 years old, and push and go season after season, trying to understand the top level, how compete in the top level. Because if you rebuild always in the middle of your cycle at 25, 26 years old, you will never see um, the real competitiveness of the game, and you will face the situation that I faced in Serie A last season, in which players more experienced in this kind of competition play super mods at the first match, and you even were not thinking about it, or other management. For example, I don't know if you were thinking about the cup, how it's easy play pin at home, sorry, pin in the league and pick in the cup in the first rounds, and maybe you can gain some replays against your competitors, etc, etc, etc. So guys, Hattrick's really nice, and also from the failure you can enjoy and learn, and even think about the next project being stronger. And this is the beauty of Hattrick, because you have always something to do and something to improve. With that, guys, I say you bye bye. I wish you really a really nice 2026, full of joy and nice results, and see you in the next video. Ciao ciao.